This digital storytelling is about outdoor activities and geographical features in Montana. The first term is camping. It is defined as an outdoor activity of living outside in a tent, cabin, or other styles of homes. An example of how to use it in a sentence is, I sleep in a tent outside when I go camping with friends in Yellowstone National Park. Pictured, we have tent labeled, and it looks like some people are camping in the desert. Weather is elements of the atmosphere including temperature, that is dry, wet, windy, snowy, or rainy. An example of how to use it in the sentence is, the weather outside is sunny today. As we see in the weather forecast listed below, we can look at where it's showing today, and right below it there's a sun. Therefore, it is sunny out. Hike is a long walk outside or up a mountain, typically lasting for hours or days. An example is, I went for a hike for 30 minutes up the Drinking Horse Trail. Pictured is the trail or path that is dirt and easy to walk along. The Drinking Horse Trail is located in Bozeman, only about 10 minutes from campus. It's a great short hike. Geographical feature is the most important term of the lesson. It is defined as a part of the outdoors that was naturally created. It includes rivers, lakes, mountains, and hills, all of which that can be found in Montana. An example of how to use it in a sentence is, mountains and rivers are geographical features in nature that surround Bozeman. In the picture, a hill, forest, beach, ocean, river, lake, waterfall, and mountain are all pictured. However, are all of these features located in Montana? No, we don't have a beach in Montana that is on the edge of an ocean. Why is that? We don't have an ocean. We are not located on the coast. Montana has huge mountains and waterfalls, lakes, rivers, hills, and forests, though. A river is a long body of moving water that winds and inhabits fish. In saying that it winds, that means that it is not straight, it can be curved. Most rivers in Montana do have big trout. An example of how to use it in a sentence is, the locals floated down the long skinny river in a boat to catch fish. Who are the locals in this sentence? The locals are people from Bozeman, or people that live in Bozeman. Pictured are two men sitting and standing in a boat and fishing. There is an arrow pointing to the water. That is the river. A mountain range is a series of mountains connected together, having a ridgeline on top to walk or climb on, if not too steep. A ridgeline is basically just the point at which all the tops of the mountains are connected. Usually there's a trail on top to walk on. An example of how to use it in a sentence is, there are about 4 big mountain ranges with snowy peaks in Montana. Do you know what these mountain ranges are? Pictured below is the Bridger mountain range. There's also the Crazies, or the Crazy Mountain Range, the Gallatin Mountain Range, the Madison Range, and more. further outside of Bozeman. Next, wilderness is a synonym or another way of saying nature or the outdoors. It is anything living or growing outside. An example to use the word is the wilderness has different types of trees growing, trails to hike on, rocks, and small rivers running through it. What is shown in this picture? We have rocks, there's a trail to walk on, and there are different types of trees growing. Therefore, this picture does not include a river. Site is an area of ground on which a town or building is established. A campsite is a special area created for living in a tent or camper. An example of how to use it in a sentence is, the family reserved a campsite or a site to camp at for the weekend. In the picture, there's an arrow pointing to a tent and to wood in the back. The wood is going to be used in a fire. Campsites are established or they are legal to have fires at, if posted. A reservoir is a large lake used as a water supply. Typically, it is used as a water supply. Sometimes, it is just a large lake. An example of how to use it in a sentence is, Highlight Reservoir looks like a lake and supplies Bozeman with drinking water. In the picture, we can see the lake in the valley and the mountains. The water will come from snow melting off the mountains and into the reservoir. A geyser is found in Yellowstone National Park. It is a hot pool of water that shoots out water and steam. Old Faithful is a geyser in Yellowstone National Park that shoots out water. This is an example of how to use it in a sentence. Pictured is the water shooting out and the steam that follows. It is very hot to be underneath it. In summary, we went over camp or camping, weather, hike or hiking, geographical feature, river, mountain range, wilderness, site, reservoir, and geyser.